Looming taller and taller over British politics is the discussion going on in these houses, in this neighbourhood, which will choose its next MP next week.
Join us at Radio Hartlepool Towers. Sam Coates from Sky News, of course, Deputy Political Editor, and Chris Lloyd from the Northern Echo.
After COVID and Brexit, could the first chapter of the story of Labour's revival begin here?
Hartlepool is a unique sort of a place. 69.5% Brexit to leave, one of the highest areas in the country. Yet at the 2019 general election, it didn't fall from Labour to the Conservatives, and it really should have done. There was a kind of tidal wave of Toryism that swept down the Tees Valley.
A tide that may be stopped by a Labour campaign fronted by a doctor who has been making a virtue of the fact Labour is still under comparatively new management.
Sir Keir went down really well when he visited here. I think people don't know him that well. And over the last year with COVID, it's been difficult for him to be able to travel to places like this. I think this by-election is a real opportunity for Keir to show who he really is.
That means being heard above the noise.
Given that this seat has never had anyone other than a Labour MP, it should be theirs to lose. But the pattern of recent elections around here hasn't been good for them. And privately, Labour admit that Keir Starmer just isn't as big a figure as Boris Johnson. And then all sides in this by-election are talking about the vast sums being put into this region by the Tory government.
We want something to liven Hartlepool, bring Hartlepool back to where it was years and years ago.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt about which way I'm voting. Conservative. I think if they get in, if we get a Conservative government in, a Conservative MP in this town, they will want to try and keep that Conservative MP, and they will start to spend money.
I think it'll be a very tough fight. But I've been talking to people on the doors this week and they are ready for positive change, and the support's been great, but I need absolutely everybody who wants that change to come out and vote.
Opponents are making the case they could all secure the cash Hartlepool needs.
They need someone who can grasp that opportunity and get Hartlepool moving forwards, get the economy reopened again, rebuilt, make sure that Hartlepool gets its fair share of investment.
Investment is coming, but look how it's being divided up. 7 towns have been selected for funding since November as part of Boris Johnson's £3.6 billion levelling up fund. 5 towns are in seats with Tory MPs, while just 2 are in areas with a Labour MP. Some, like Hartlepool, haven't got the promised money yet.
So that's going to be a new £90 million key.
Half an hour down the road in newly Tory Redcar, the MP can point to projects that got government cash.
For years we saw investment directed at our cities, and we saw our cities grow and grow and our towns feel left behind. And places like Redcar, they need the investment.
But the opposition say funding is a smokescreen.
I certainly think it is what's called pork barrel politics. They're putting money into areas where they've won seats. They're shoring up their support. We all want the levelling up agenda to succeed. I want money for my patch.
Hartlepoolians still feel left behind. The winner will be the person who can convince voters they have more to offer. Sam Coates, Sky News, Hartlepool.